Hi, I'm Shannon. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You might be able to hear the birds in the background. I am sitting at my favorite place in the yard, and I just got back from a long nature walk with my boys. Something happened today, and I want to share it with you because it gave me a perspective shift. And I think that's something that so many of us are starting to recognize in our lives, is that our outlook, our mindset, and our way of perceiving has an effect on what we experience. So for the majority of us, as we live in this world, we have these messages constantly ingrained in us from the moment we've taken our first breath that we are never enough. In some way, we don't have enough. We weren't born with enough. There's always this feeling of lack and scarcity, which for most of us leaves us living in a state of survival. And that is changing. As we are remembering that there's more to life than just pushing and forcing and stressing and really surviving, that there's more to life than feeling like we're always behind and that we have to catch up in some way. So today, I met with a new friend and a realtor, and she came over to my home, and she was just so enamored by the charm of it. The charm of our home, the charm of our land, the charm of where we live. And it really is a sweet place, and we've loved raising our kids here. And we are just collecting information, just looking at, what our options are as we get older, what our choices are in the future. And something shifted while she was here. And what I sensed and what I've been sensing for a while now is how important gratitude is. And that when we're grateful for what we have, we open the doorways, we open the pathway for our future. When we are feeling like we don't have enough of something or we need more, we're really creating a block or even locking those doors shut. Because we're basically putting out to the universe that we don't have enough, and we have this vibration or this frequency emitting that is not enoughness. And then the universe gives us all these reflections back to us to reflect our not enoughness back. And as I was hearing from her perspective, what a special place we have, I got to see through fresh eyes. And we need that. Like, sometimes it's really hard to see things from our own perspective because we get used to seeing things from that certain vantage point. Something shifted in me. And because I've been really paying attention to those ways that we've been conditioned away from our truth, because the truth is, we are born whole. We have everything we need within us. But that is not the world's messages. The way the world has typically operated is, if we keep our people in a state of scarcity, then they will be drained and depleted, and they will feed the system that feeds on draining people. So, what am I saying? I think I'm exploring that there's always opportunities for us to see our life in a fresh new light, with fresh new eyes, from a new perspective. And sometimes that takes other people's viewpoints. That is where curiosity can take us, when we are open to new ideas, when we can ask questions and stay curious and open. And I think what happened for me is I was even seeing how sometimes I still have this residual gunk that makes me think I need something different, that I don't have enough of what I have. But I have everything I need in this moment. And if you're listening to these words, my guess is that you are the same. You have everything you need right now. And whatever you're wanting or needing will find you. But if we come from a state of lack and scarcity, it's as though we're blocking ourselves from that new perspective, that new pathway, that new door to open, because the universe is going to mirror to us what we put out there. That's why gratitude is so important on our journey. When you practice being in a state of gratitude, you are more open to receiving new perspectives, new ideas, new ways of doing things. Just when you feel like you've tried everything, a state of gratitude opens the doorway, brings in that new person, that new thought or insight that wasn't there before, or you weren't ready to receive it. So sometimes when I wake up, and if I don't have to go and run to drive someone somewhere or have a plan, I really try to preserve my early morning time for me, because that's when I get really good downloads. That's how I ground. And the other day I was sitting on my red bench, getting ready to go on a walk, and I kept hearing this phrase, gratitude is a receptor. I was like, what the heck does that mean? Gratitude is a receptor. And I started to just like let it kind of like come down. And what I felt in my body was that when I embody, when I integrate that feeling of being grateful, so it's not just like stating I am grateful for, but it's actually feeling it in my body, letting my heart open. It's almost like my cells of my body start to open, and it's like they're saying, okay, we're ready to receive. So it's like when you practice feeling what you're grateful for in the moment, the body is signaling safety. See, when we are born with this scarcity mindset and we are taught that we don't have enough or we are not enough in some way, we don't feel safe. And what's happening in the world right now, as we are remembering who we truly are and we're awakening to a new way of being, is our sense of safety is starting to return. Our nervous systems have been shot. We have been in a state of survival and burnout and scarcity and stress. Whew. Now, when you turn on the news and that's what you're watching all the time, and not to mention all the other things, all the other messages that we tend to receive, that can keep our nervous systems in fight, flight, or freeze. However, if you're listening to these words and you have found a Life That Lets Me Breathe podcast, you are on a journey of recalibrating a new nervous system, one that is operating in safety, not scarcity. You are remembering what it feels like in your body to feel safe. And when you feel safe, your body relaxes, your heart opens, your mind quiets, your nervous system resets. And it's there ready to receive. And gratitude is a very simple practice. Like, we can keep things simple. The world wants you to believe that you need 10-step programs, that you need this, and this, and you need to do it in the right order in order to achieve whatever it is you're seeking. But really, when you pause and you breathe and you listen, you remember what it feels like to be grateful for your breath. Grateful for the trees that are giving us this breath. Grateful for the opportunity to have a new moment, which is right now. The moment is always changing. This moment is a fresh, clean slate, an opportunity to open a new door, to see things in a new light, to breathe in the fresh air. So when I allow myself to breathe in gratitude and feel it in every cell of my body, I feel like that's my way of turning on my new nervous system that feels safe to be me. And the new nervous system's like, okay, we're ready to receive. Gratitude is a receptor. Gratitude's helping me receive. And when I'm in a state of receptivity in the moment, I'm paving my path towards joy. These aren't just words. It's a feeling. It's an awareness. It's an attunement to the true essence that lives beneath the noise. The you that is always there. The you that's really receiving these words right now and breathing it in and simply knows, I don't even know what she's saying, but I like it. It's that kind of feeling. You don't have to understand the words to know when something strikes a chord, when something resonates, when you feel like you're exhaling and expanding at the same time. So, I hope that on your journey today, you can tune in and not just think about gratitude, but let it drop and land in your heart. Can you imagine what it would feel like if, as you're breathing your breath in, every cell of your body is basically opening up and smiling and receiving that gratitude? And then your cells of your body are like transporting or are a vehicle for you to experience greater joy on your path. Because when you allow yourself to be in the moment with gratitude, you are starting to tell the universe you're ready for more joy to be reflected back to you. And when you're in that state, you actually remember your enoughness. That you are whole and complete and imperfectly, magically beautiful, just as you are in this very moment. So I think meeting with that new friend today and talking about my charming land and seeing it from her fresh new eyes was a gift. We always have these earth angels in our life. Really, every opportunity you meet someone and you're open to them without judging, but just allowing love to flow through you, you will find there are angels everywhere. That's how our angels speak to us, is through others. She helped me see things in a different perspective and helped me really start to release this lingering not enoughness in my field. For that, I am so grateful. I receive this as a gift. And I breathe it in. And I allow my nervous system to remember what it feels like to be enough. And I hope that these words land for you in a way that reminds you too that you have enough, that you are enough, that you are whole. And that whatever is weighing you down or making you feel like you don't have the life that you want right now, remember, you are not alone. That you have angels and guides on the other side and also in this earth plane here, creating and partnering this creation of your life with you. Notice what you focus on. Notice what you think about. Notice when you feel like you're lacking in some capacity of your life. And when that happens, which it will because we're human and this is part of our remembering, pause, hand to heart, and just imagine that your body is open to gratitude. And see if little by little you can remind your nervous system what joy feels like, what expansion feels like, what a life that allows you to breathe actually feels like in your body. Thank you so much for taking this nature walk with me today, and I hope that you see a moment of beauty and that you keep returning to your natural rhythm, and that as you move throughout your day, you remember that this moment and every moment moving forward is a new, fresh opportunity to see things differently, to sense things in a new way, and to breathe a little bit lighter and a little bit freer and a little bit fuller. Be well, and I will see you next time.